Pop the chair shot. Get it right.
Close enough.
Welcome back, Wrestle Nerds. Victor Villa here. As you making their way to the ring.
Mischief, you heard?
Oh, pretty chubby flaco número mi gente.
What the hell's up with the premature enunciation?
It's only 1:15, baby. Woo! Welcome back to another edition of Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being a part of this evening with us. Thank you for subscribing as well. And tonight, we speak out about speaking out. The Undertaker, is it really over? Talk to me 1 minute. Please don't say it's not. A case study on Charlotte Flair. Tonight, we decide, is the run overwork or is she deserving of it? But we can't do it all alone. We got some help. And tonight joining us from the No Holds Barred Network, she has countless of incredible interviews with, yes, some of your favorite indie heroes. Ladies and gentlemen, she's in fact the queen of the indies, the EVP of giggles, the heartbreak chick, Tiffany.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's goody?
It wouldn't be a time when I see you guys and I don't. Yeah.
It wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right.
You drinking anything? You joining us in a beverage?
Oh man! Now you tell me this.
I kind of drank mine already.
Oh man!
Yeah,
I would have got.
I drank mine at the pre-show, so I was at the pre-show drinking.
So I'm
Terrible. You gotta warn me next time.
No doubt, no doubt. We gotta put it on, guys. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of unwrapping to do. Let's just get right into it. The nitty and gritty, my brothers. Life is hard. Getting up for work is hard. Having a job is hard. Keeping that job is hard. Succeeding in that job is hard. Why the fuck does being a wrestling fan have to be hard? Because right now, the shit is at a boiling point right now. I want to be able to enjoy the business that I personally love so much, you know? I want to be, you know, I don't want to worry about second guessing who the fuck my heroes are now because of, you know, how they really are in real life. I don't want to buy my favorite superstars merch because I'm scared of returning it in a few weeks of what's going to be uncovered here. What's going on in the world, guys? Talk to me, man. How are we feeling?
I'm having such a hard time. Like all of us, like you heard that, right? Like everybody heard that silence. That shit is thick, cause it's hard to even grapple with. I mean, as hard as it is to be a fan, it's apparently much harder to train as a woman in the wrestling business. And so what we're seeing is, and I'm glad it's happening, right? Because like you got to get your hands dirty to clean the business. And here we are, like getting dirty and seeing all this shit come out about people that, like, personally, I respected, man. These are some people that, like, I believed in. I was like, yo, we've talked, we've had conversations, like, in a way, like, I wrestled with, you know, we were in the ring together, so I trusted you with my life in a very, you know, superficial kind of way, I guess. And you like you do that shit, you do that dirt. It's crazy to me, man. Tiff, how do we navigate these waters? And what do you feel about all of this that's happening?
It's crazy, right? Because like you say, like Queen of the Indies, right? Like I go to like a million indie shows. Like I'm always at independent shows, and it's just heartbreaking because it's like you can't even scroll through social media without seeing like a new story coming out, and it's disgusting, and it's so hard to put into words. Like I really I can't. Like I'm sitting here trying to like figure out all of this, and it's just, oh God, I like the most that hit me was like Marty Scurl. Like, here's
Yeah.
something that like I love to death. Like, you know, like if you know me, you know, like I have a whole thing called the list of husbands. And Marty Scurl was like one of the original ones when I started my list of husbands. And here it is, like I have like a little shrine. Like, I'm not very big into memorabilia and stuff like that. So I have like a little shrine. You guys can't see it in the corner. And I have like special pieces on there. And a lot of things are things that people had bought me. And I have a whole section of Marty Scurl. I have like a picture of like when I did the meet and greet with him. I have you know, like somebody had bought me like one of the action figures that he autographed. I have a mug. Like, I have a whole bunch of things. And then on top of that, like, I have merch. And it's and I've had multiple conversations with him when I did the meet and greets, and you're like, oh, like, this guy's so humble, this guy's so nice. Like, I've sat there, like, oh, we talked about Winston, and like, so it's so crushing to me because it's like I don't even know how to feel, and it's like you look at these wrestlers and you're thinking like, oh God, like, you know, I look up to them or they're entertaining, and then your world is just like thrown up in the air, you know, hearing these stories, and it's like, wow. Like, I really can't even wrap my head around a lot of this.
Ever felt uncomfortable, like, at a show or anything like that? I mean, you know, I don't mean to intrude or make
no, you know, it's funny. It's hard being, like, a female, right? And, like, me, like, a lot of people, though, you know, like, I don't personally think I'm in the business, right? And then you have other people that, like, you're in the business if you do a podcast and stuff like that, right? And, you know, even before I was podcasting, even like with fans and stuff like that too, you know, like, I get it, you know, like, here it is, it's a guy's world, right? Like, in wrestling, right? Most of the time when you go to these shows, it's mostly males. Now, as it's going, we're getting more and more females. But even me, like, I felt uncomfortable, like, you know, getting hit on. It's like, here I am going to a show and I'm just trying to enjoy wrestling, something that I love. And me personally, like, I'm single, and then it's like, but I'm not going to these shows to like look for somebody or anything like that. Like, I'm legit going to shows because I love wrestling. I want to go. I want to be entertained. I want to go with my friends and enjoy it. And I've had those moments where, you know, like, fans, as you know, like, fans just make you feel uncomfortable. I'm not going here to get picked up on, and it's happened to me, you know, and like, I see it too. Like, I get it. Like, I've gotten like DMs as well from like wrestlers or students and stuff like that. But me personally, I shut it down so quick. You know, like, I always say, like, I'm not looking for anything, which I'm not. You know, I'm very content being single. But it is uncomfortable that I've got those DMs from people, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, I you know, I say it all the time. Like, I could destroy people, and I don't. That's just not me. But, you know, nobody should feel uncomfortable at all.
Right. Agree.
So
yeah, that's definitely seems to be the topic of discussion this week. With so many stories, we're gonna get into some of these headlines here. First and foremost, I think one of the top ones got to be Sammy Guevara and how he's trending, man, with the whole sting with Sasha Banks. I think he said he wanted to rape her. Sasha even came out and spoke on it here, guys. How do we feel about her rebuttal? Because she doesn't downplay it at all. She sticks up for what's right here, but she also explains that, or kind of hints that maybe he might have been joking, or saying it in kind of like a joking manner.
Well, I think, to be fair, and, you know, at least to me, it was a joke. It was a really bad, distasteful joke. Yeah. That I think, like, a lot of people say behind the scenes or whatever, like, things like that, and, like, that's part of the problem, is that we use that word in particular and those kinds of actions, like, in a very playful kind of banter, and then, like, they have really serious consequences, right? But I don't in any way, shape, or form believe that he was going to rape Sasha Banks. Like, that was never, to me, like, a real threat. I was never like, oh shit, he's gonna go out there and do something crazy. I
get that from her too, with her response.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I didn't think anything of it. I mean, I thought also his response to everything had been really good. He immediately was like, I'm so embarrassed. He reached out to her privately first. I think that's always like the course of action, right? Like, if you fuck up, listen, people fuck up. Like, people say crazy shit, or a moment gets away from them. fine, right? Like as bad as it was, the first thing you do is go to the offended party and you're like, yo, I fucked up. My bad. Let's talk about this. And I thought him doing that first step before the public, because all of this other shit is all theatrics, right? Like it's all like publicity. I want to save face and blah, blah, blah. And then he even did a video, which like I didn't even think was necessary really. And he did it. And I thought that was pretty convincing. So I think that, you know, give him some time, you know, take care of yourself, kind of get your mind right. Just like we would say with other things, right? When someone goes through some sort of like stressful, right? We're like, yo, like, you know, get your head right. Like, you got punished. Yo, this is your timeout, dog. Like, cámate la boca. Like, you know, yeah, and then whatever, right? Like, am I wrong?
Yeah. No, it's true. Sensitivity training will give them that pow for sure.
And that's what they're doing, right? They're sending them to training with suspended without pay and shit, right? That's what Cody said?
Yeah. It's
all right.
Like mixed thing with it because this was years ago, right? This was like 4 years ago. But, you know, again, I guess maybe because like we all podcast and stuff like that, so you got to look at it differently, right? You come on the air, you know you're on a platform and everything and anything gets twisted and, you know, it's out there. You're putting yourself out there on social media, on YouTube, wherever it is that you stream. So you should know better, you know? Like, I get it. This is 4 years ago. He was younger. You know, like, you know what you're doing. And again, like, he's still young and he had to put something out and on like a PR side, like when you're thinking about like AEW, he had to have some sort of sensitivity training. It's kind of like, again, like I feel kind of mixed about it because it was like years ago and it kind of sucks because it kind of, you know, swarmed up years later and look what happened to him. Right? Like now you're not wrestling. Now you're like in the best spot that you can be in the inner circle, right? You're under like Jericho and everything, and like you're getting time on TV, and like look what you did for your mouth. So
facts.
Yeah.
Man, you never be too careful out there, man. And one person that definitely knows that is Joey Ryan, because he's had himself a week, guys. How the hell did we not see this coming? Huh?
Because these scumbags, like, they paint themselves like the ally, right? Like the, hey, I'm doing this sleazy shit, wink, wink, but like, you know, I'm really a good guy. Like, kind of like how Deadpool breaks the fourth wall. You're kind of breaking the fourth wall and being a sleazebag. You're thinking that, like, by being a sleazeball, you're not a sleazeball. Well, you're fucking sleazeball, apparently. And
well, I think a part of it was he had like Candace, right, for all those years, and everyone was like, well, all right, he's a dick. But Candace is so sweet, and if she likes him and trusts him, then he can't be that much of a dick.
Right. I mean, everybody thought, well, I mean, you can't just base things off gimmicks either, man. Yeah. But, like, it definitely didn't help.
Did Candace
oh, yeah, she came out and she was like...
Yeah.
But, like, did she say anything damning? Like, was she like, oh, I saw it, like, he's crazy?
I think what she was trying to say, yeah. She was kind of shocked, and she was just like, she was feeling sorry that she kind of trusted the person that would do that type of thing, but she never stood for it. She never tolerated some shit like that ever. So I mean, that's kind of what she was put out there. So it's crazy though, man, because it's just and in this business, everybody kind of knows each other, right? So like, it's at the end of the day, it's a small world. Yep. You know, you're only as good as your word, and your reputation is gonna follow you, man. You gotta, if this is the business you love so much, why not protect it, man? Why not be the person you need to be so that you can maintain it and manage it well?
Because of the so-called like locker room etiquette, right? Like there's
the etiquette, okay.
To like respect the elders and like to shake everybody's hand and like rookies got to do the grunt work and set up the ring.
But is it like that? Is it? Oh, okay. No, yeah. I get what you're saying. I thought I misunderstood you, but
some of this is not just like creepy rape stuff, right? Like sexual stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's also involved in all of this is also like manipulation, power, control. Congo Kong or I forgot something like that. He had an issue with some I forgot the dude's name, but long story short is that like the kid was like a rookie in like his 4th or 5th match. He had a shitty match with the guy, right? Like 1 or 2 spots where he missed. And then Congo Khan like went in the back and he was like berating him in front of everybody, fucking like whipped out his dick and shit, like whatever, like crazy shit like that. And it was just like hazing the rookie. And then the dude at intermission went to sell merch. And when he went to the back, dude was like, yo, you're supposed to be selling my chokeslam. Like, what the fuck, blah, blah. So that was like a thing. And he was like, give me the money you made at merch. Jacked him for his money at merch.
Oh, wow.
Then there was like a battle royal at the end of the show. Then he went to the battle royal. And when he went to the back, the dude was like, yo, you didn't sell my chokeslam. Give me the money for tonight. And everybody that speak up, give me your money too. And he ended up jacking like 4 or 5 rookies' money.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Because that's like rookie hazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that like you're taking something that like high schoolers do and you're doing it to a fucking 20, 30, 40-year-old. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of dynamic. And when you're somebody that doesn't have any sort of experience, any sort of leg in the business whatsoever, no foot in no door, right? A Congo Khan's got a name for himself, right? At least, you know, in the indies, as far as the indies are concerned, right? Like some of these other names that are coming up. Mike Quakenbush.
Oh, God.
All of these are allegations. All of them. And as far as I know, while there has been corroboration between parties, apparently like multiple people have said similar things. At least nothing has been acknowledged on his part, and that all we know is what those girls said.
But they also closed the school down too.
They closed the school. They closed the company. The video game, like, are no.
I hope all them students got their cash back, man, or they getting refunded or some shit or compensated.
No money from that, dog. That's it.
That's fucked up. Fucked up.
That one.
At least there's like a bunch of like promotions that I saw like on Twitter that they're like, okay, like if you open arms to like other schools, that there won't be anything like that. Like you can come. Like I saw Matt Tremont even put a post or
Right?
that he was like, oh, like I just had him on the podcast too, and it was just
I did see that.
He's great. Like, and he was telling a story about how he's got like 30 students and how one of the students is autistic, and like the autistic kid got denied like by 3 schools because he's autistic. And Matt Tremont was like, whatever. He's like, I don't care. He's like, yeah, okay. So it takes a little bit longer to teach him. He was like, but here's like a dream that a kid wants. And like, that's what you want in a promotion and a school. So, but even for that, to him put that out there, like, oh, come to my school. Like, there's no drama, there's no this, everybody's positive, and so be it. So at least with all the negative that we're getting, that there is some positive, trying to come out from all this.
No doubt. One scary thing I want to point out here, and it's kind of scary. Have y'all noticed that out of everything we've heard this whole week, not one person has defended themselves either? Like, that's just scary to me that they know they fucked up and they can't even say a word. Like, they can't say shit because they know. Like, fuck, yo.
Legal counsel prevents them from saying.
Oh. Yeah. And there have been a couple that have come out saying that, like they're legally they can't say anything. Like Jordan Devlin has been accused of outright assault of a young lady, and he really pissed body and shit. He came out and said he's waiting for his legal counsel to go through the normal course of business before he says anything. He denied all allegations, but he wasn't like coming out on anything on that.
It's crazy. Okay. It's just. Yeah, but they did like the one like with Marty Scurl, that he put out the statement, and then it was like everybody was like outraged, right? And then the next day it was like rewritten. There was like an added paragraph, so like PR like kind of like jumped in or whatever. And then Ring of Honor puts out his statement today, pretty much, like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like for some reason I feel like this is gonna be swept under the rug for something like that. That Ring of Honor is gonna keep them.
Well, I mean, we're still waiting on the Jay Lethal investigation, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
3 or 4 years. I haven't heard anything about that. So your head booker and main star, I doubt he's getting anything happening to him.
Now I'm wondering if even like some of the promotions too, like the ones that close, like Bar Wrestling and what, like, are they gonna be like shut down for a while and then reopened under another name, under new management? Like, is that gonna happen? Like, these are things that I've been thinking about.
I mean, like, I know Progress came out. They sweeped the old management out. I think John Briley's the only one left of the original ownership, and he has like I want to say it's Vicky Haskins, OJMO, and I'm missing someone else coming in to take care of managing the company, kind of being the face of the company. Even then, like OJMO helped out Darren or Daryl Allen, who a lot of people were mistaking for Darby Allin, completely different wrestler.
And no relation.
Also heard was a name, or is that because of that?
It was because of that. Like, I guess because their names sounded like, which is a real crappy way to get mixed up in it. As he helped out it through his WhatsApp chats, he was kind of outed himself because he was using homophobic terms. So it's like, so the guy you're going to come in, who's going to come in to clear up management, is already kind of had a strike against him. What are you going to do then? Like, the British scene, y'all know how much I loved the British scene when it comes to ICW, Progress, Rise. To see all these, people I was a fan of just come out and just all this crap come against them, it's disheartening.
Give it to him, Joe. Give it to him. Give it to him, old school. You know you want to.
Progress, the title picture now looks like a sex offenders list, right? Like it's sad.
Jesus.
So DJ Hyde just got outed on Twitter now.
But is that like
Right now?
Yeah, it just came out. Now. DJ Hyde from CZW. Look, I can't man. Like,
Oh.
Yeah.
Yo, like, is it really that hard, like, to not be a fucking creep? Like, is it really? Because I don't know, man. And here's another thing. I say this to everybody, male, female, gay, straight, whatever. However, if we are at a show and there is any uncomfortability, somebody is making you feel uncomfortable, you come and chill with us. Do not fucking continue doing whatever. You don't even got to say shit to us. You don't got to know us. Just come up to us, be like, yo, I'm so-and-so. Do you mind if I hang out? And we'll hang out. We don't even got to talk about it.
That's why, like, I think also, like, again, like, as being a female and stuff like that. Listen, I'm not just saying that it's on the female side, because guys get it too from women as well. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's just females. But me as a female, I've had that. Like, even, like, I've gone to the bars where you have the watch parties. Like, you guys throw watch parties all the time.
Right.
So
Facts.
I've had that where I've gone to a watch party before. And this is why I always say, like, go, I've gone to shows and stuff like that by myself, but most of the times that I know, like, I'm good, because it's either I know some of the wrestlers or I know the promoter or something. So I know, God forbid anything, I can go to, like, one of them or whatever if I'm alone, but I've had that at, watch party, like, like real quick at, I went to go to the bathroom, and it was funny because, like, earlier I was wearing a shirt, and it was kind of like sleeve shirt, so it's like you see like part of, like, my shoulder blade, and it was like a little, like, I guess it was like a little short, and it was showing I have a lower back tattoo, and I guess the lower back tattoo was showing, and then it was showing the tattoo on my shoulder. So when I got up, I went to the bathroom, and when I was waiting to go to the bathroom, some guy was like talking to me. He's like, "Oh, nice tattoo," and I was like, "Oh, thank you," or whatever like that. So I walked away or whatever after I used the bathroom, and this dude was creeping, like, legit. Like, I literally was sitting at one point between two wrestlers because I felt that uncomfortable, because there's wrestlers that also show up at some of these watch parties, and I felt so uncomfortable. They were protecting me. They were like, "What the hell is with this guy?" He just kept staring at me, would walk to another side, stare at me, walk back. Like, it was creepy. Then he messaged me on freaking Messenger, found me on freaking Messenger, messaged me and asked me if I was still at the bar. I didn't answer. It was creepy. So anyway, another like days later or whatever, he writes me again. He's like, "Hi, I'm so and so." He was like, "Oh, I complimented your tattoo." And so I was like, "Okay," and he was like, "Yeah, the one by your ass." Like, what is wrong with people?
Whoa.
Like, like so these are the things that I talk about, that it's like it's uncomfortable. Like, if you're gonna go somewhere, have be with a bunch of people. So like, again, like I said, I was sitting between two wrestlers because I felt very freaking uncomfortable. I'm like, dude, like, and they saw it, and look what happened. And he's like in my DM, like you said. But there's so many creepy people out there. And again, me being a female is one thing, but I'm sure guys get it too. I hear stories from my guy friends with things that happen to them. So it's just nuts.
Keith Lee actually came out and spoke about it this week too. Something about a case that happened with him. He doesn't no longer drink because of it too. Guys get it too, man. It's not just one way, man. It's out there, and it's scary. It's a scary world. Amongst other things.
Is there anybody else that really like caught you off guard, or that you were like, damn, this person, this guy or girl?
What about Brock Lesnar? The accusation with Brock Lesnar by Terry Reynolds.
Holy shit!
Oh yeah, Terry Reynolds said that.
That's not old.
Showed them the penis, but that was like, when was that?
That was weeks ago, motherfucker.
No, that was like back in like 2002.
Yeah,
that was 04. Well, yeah, she started making complaints or talking about it in 04, and they dismissed it. And now they resurfaced. Seems like the right time.
Yeah, man. Like, crazy shit like that. And then that's because of that mentality, right? The same mentality that had people shitting in Jerry Lawler's crown. You know what I'm saying? Like that same locker room. So shit like that.
How many people shook Randy Orton's hand?
Exactly. Right?
Oh, wow.
That's it, right? And it's all the same shit, right? Like that kind of mentality where it's like that boys club, la la la. Like, I don't know, man. Again, anybody that is ever at a show that feels uncomfortable, bro, find Tiff, because Tiff goes to all the fucking indie shows. Yo,
no doubt.
Find us. Yo, we'll chill. We'll
chill with.
Buy us a drink. Buy us a drink.
We doing shot. I love. It's funny. Like the picture that we all took at. I love Colin from Synergy.
Shout out to Colin, man. Much love to Synergy Wrestling.
Like that picture that we took, like the whole group of us that were standing by the bar. Like I have that. Like I have a picture.
It's a family. It's a family.
It's a beautiful thing. You can really bond over wrestling, and you can meet so many friends, and it's a wonderful thing. And as long as like you're not a creep, I'll talk to you. Just don't
let's try not being one of those. Amidst everything that's going on and all these news, ladies and gentlemen, motherfuckers is still not washing their hands
or wearing a mask.
Or
wearing a mask. Or wash your ass. Because goddamn.
Listen, with a stage shirt, right? I told you guys this story before. Do not come up to me with stage shirts. That shit drives me crazy. Buy a $5 shirt at Old Navy, okay? Like, God.
Oh man. There's a few wrestling personalities that's been announced that has caught the COVID, amongst many positive results after testing too. Because WWE just came out with a fucking, what was it? A testing that sent mad people home. Renee Young is one of them.
You said
Caleb Braxton got it twice in 3 months.
This guy said Mae Young.
Mae Young. Yeah, bro.
Yo, that's
wow.
But Renee Young has it, but AEW reports that Jon Moxley has not reported this week because he has come in contact with somebody who also has COVID-19. So.
I wonder who it is.
Yeah.
Why are they not protecting their roster? Why are you not protecting your people?
Hold on, we got breaking news out here, JP.
Yeah.
Breaking news?
Yeah.
On the chat, Tessa.
Yeah.
Stripped of the title. What did she do?
She got terminated because she was like dodging, to defend the title.
Well, AEW with her daddy.
I was actually thinking that. I'm wondering because Nyla Rose, right? She said that we don't know who she's wrestling at Fyter Fest, right? So it's just so funny because we were talking earlier on the Oli podcast before about who is she going to wrestle. There's like big news that this is going to be big. I was kind of thinking Rio's coming back, right? But now with this, like, I'm wondering, okay, like, again, you know, just thinking, like, maybe she did this, you know, and it might not be true. Maybe she did it on purpose so she would get fired so she can go get hired at AEW.
Perfect timing.
So I don't know, but you know, so many speculations for her as well because like some people, you hear some stories that she's difficult to work with and all this stuff. So
been a bit of a bully in the past herself.
I mean, Sean Spears is looking for a tag team partner, right? There you go.
Facts.
Yeah, but
guys.
Or a Flair versus a Blatchard, though.
Ooh, woo! Speaking of Charlotte Flair, it's about time we talk about a very important issue in wrestling. Or maybe it's
you need
not
a tissue?
You enjoy it. Tissue. Nah, it's when you're done at night. But
bless you.
Right? We're talking about overexposed or being a workhorse. So what is being a workhorse? What can we agree a workhorse wrestler is?
Is it on a farm?
No. Dumb as shit, bro. You are dumb.
Yeah, yo.
Not on a farm. That's what I would have gone with that one if it was on.
This is why we can't have one nice thing.
Not one
Warhorse.
Can you even spell the word farm, my friend?
You just met. But carry on.
Warhorse? No, it's not Warhorse.
It's not Warhorse. No, this isn't synergy.
Here and a moo there.
Here, moo. There, Warhorse. Everywhere, Warhorse. Where's the fucking pop up? Where's he at? He got to.
Oh shit!
Come on, dickhead.
You just do the drop yourself.
I'm dead.
I will never forget that JP War. Yo, JP Warhorse, yo, you better be a good guy, man. It's really hard. Yo, how do you say someone's name? Gotta be like.
That's a requirement now. Us fans gotta be like, yo, what's good, fam? JP War, all right, you a good guy though? Like you gotta be a good guy though. Like,
oh gosh,
Healing storyline.
how did last two relationships end?
Wow.
Stop with the bad news. The more bad stuff, please.
Nah, man. We've already taken down 2 interviews. We want to leave it at that.
Oh, geez.
That's it. Don't even check on anymore. We'll let you know when you can look.
But a workhorse, right? We want someone that works a high rate of matches, right? Someone that gets on TV a lot, works good matches, right? Gets some good time on TV.
Quality.
Quality, right? Is that fair to say, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's cool with that as a workhorse?
Yeah.
So I'll throw out Charlotte Flair because she has been in the news a lot lately about her being on every goddamn show, NXT included. She just had the NXT title. She lost the NXT title. The next day she was on another show challenging for the title, and then the next day she was on another show challenging for the title.
You won that title?
So is Charlotte Flair a workhorse or is she overexposed?
I think she was workhorse, and because she was a workhorse, she became overexposed.
So how did that happen?
Lack of anyone else.
Well, it's not even a lack of anyone else, right? I think there's a trust level, right? After a while, they're like, well, we know if we put Charlotte out there, she's going to be able to have a good match. People are going to enjoy it. People are going to come watch it because her name's on the bill.
Nah, not a good match, a great match. There's a difference.
Okay.
So is Charlotte Flair the D word?
Hey, whoa, we just talked about fucking, like big
what
guys.
Kind of D?
Like,
Is she a draw?
Oh,
Okay.
right. What I was thinking about, right?
I'm like, I don't know her personally. I can't tell you.
D, so I immediately assume draw.
In the gutter, all of y'all.
Not me. Not me. I'm thinking about my answer
All
still.
you motherfuckers.
I'm still thinking about my answer.
He got canceled twice already. That's it. Over, everybody. Is she a draw?
Of course she is. She main evented the first women's match in WrestleMania.
See, like that's part of the thing, right? Is that like when that happens, that's when I feel like that's when she started getting overexposed. There was no need to put her there. That was not necessary.
No. I think there was all the need to put her there. I think Charlotte Becky Lynch is the name, and because it's the first ever women's WrestleMania. Think about that. There's been 35 of them, and for the first time ever, it will forever be remembered. The names that will forever be remembered will be Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and I guess Ronda Rousey too. Unfortunately, but I'm sorry. And she's been here. She's only done what? A year, and then she went to and then she bounced to go have a kid. Okay, great, but like I have. That's fine. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but like I put you high on the pedestal after that. I don't put you high on the pedestal.
Main event was who? WrestleMania 1.
Mr. T and Hogan and Piper and
T.
That's fine, but I won't say that Mr. T's in my fucking Mount Rushmore and shit.
No one's asking you to say that Ronda Rousey's on the Mount Rushmore. I'm just saying, put some respect on that name, dog.
I know. But that's why I say unfortunately, because I don't feel like she should have been there. But like
on my Mount Rushmore of 18, okay.
A prestigious match itself for WrestleMania 1-2, I guess. Yeah, I wouldn't have gone with Mr. T back then either. Fuck that. But I guess they went with Mr. T. Fuck that shit. But like the monumental moment, it will be forever remembered with Charlotte's name there and Becky Lynch's name. I think that was done on purpose, and I think deservingly so, man. Listen to what Ric Flair said. Man. You find me 5 more other women that are gonna do it this long and this good. That'll do a moonsault every fucking week. Come on, like I haven't seen it. I'm dying to see Liv go crazy, but like they got shackles on her. Either that, or maybe it is that she's stumbling on her promos. I don't know, but I can't call it.
Hold on, Liv. She's been given opportunity. She's been on TV. She's had a mic in face.
How do we know that it's not storylines and shit that they fucking with her? Or is it that she's really fucking her shit up?
But it's not just like WWE isn't the only company with overexposure issues, right?
Okay.
We got other companies with overexposure issues. I would argue and say that AEW is kind of overexposing Nyla Rose a little bit.
Nyla.
Yeah, because I think Nyla is, in their women's division, kind of like a Brock Lesnar in that she's a special attraction. Yeah. And I don't think that she should be on TV all the time. In fact, because she's probably one of the only people that, like, off the top of your head, from AEW women, you know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of, like, star power, there's not a lot. So...
I mean, I would argue that point because the overexposure would...
All right, so let me just do this then. Right? Because she's the bigger name in that roster, put her on less and build on the other girls more.
Yeah, I don't understand how she lost the title and now she's still having like a featured match in Fyter Fest. Like she has a special announcement and shit, and we're still seeing her like dominate every week more than the fucking the new champ. That's what's her name? I forgot her name.
Sheeta.
Yeah. Like I don't see why. I mean, and not to say that they're not pushing her either, because she's still getting her shine. But when Nyla was doing it, all cameras, the moment was hers by herself. You feel me? Now this girl is sharing it with Nyla. So it's,
you gotta look at it as a business thought, right? I think that's what's happened to me, and I kind of talk about this all the time. That I feel like now that like I go to a lot of indie shows, I think I kind of get it more, and it kind of made me a better fan, right? So you talk about Charlotte Flair. I don't watch WWE at all. It's not my cup of tea.
Good for you.
That's whoever watches, that's on you, right? Like if you enjoy it, kudos
If you
to
like
you.
shit-
I watch what I enjoy, right? I'm not gonna watch things that I don't enjoy. Plus, there's so much wrestling out there. But I can understand, like, you brought up the whole thing about like WrestleMania with Charlotte, right? So they're thinking, okay, this is gonna be your first main event, with women wrestling at WrestleMania, right? So of course you gotta think business wise, like, okay, she's gonna put on a good match, right? But then we talk about, like, you're talking about AEW and stuff. Me, I'm always saying this, right? I understand the draw, right? AEW is still new. To me, AEW is still new, right? It's not even a year old, because I'm not going to count from when they announced it. I count it from DYNAMITE, right? And then you got all this new talent that came in, right? Me, I'm fortunate enough. A lot of these wrestlers I know from the independent scene, but not everybody's me. A lot of people don't know. Me, I'm all for building new talent, right? But I understand too, like, same thing, like with Chris Jericho, right? First champion at AEW. As a business move, it's smart because of the fact that you need to draw in people who might not be, like, someone like me who's followed, Ring of Honor and New Japan before. So I know Young Bucks, I know Jericho from WWE. You want to get new fans over, right? So I think also when you bring up Nyla Rose, I think that they figure it is a big attraction. It's going to bring people, like a new sense of fans. And I think that's why they kind of push it. But I agree, you need to start building new talent, right? Because things get stale. So in WWE, that's kind of, I think, what kind of lost me is it was the same thing over and over and over again.
Right.
It's like, what's new? What's exciting, right? Like AEW is the new thing right now, right? And you're focusing, and I get it, because these are the names known. You're Elite, Jericho, right? Like, these are your big names. So that's what's good. Cody Rhodes. Like, these are the names that are going to draw people in, right? But don't forget about your other talent there too. You need to start building those guys up because you don't want things to be stale. So we need to know why we like these guys. Why were they signed? I need to see all this stuff. So
when did
I
you
hear
start
that.
watching WWE as much, or like when did you stop paying attention?
Years ago I stopped. No, about like 2 years ago I stopped. Maybe a little more than 2 years ago.
Was it any one particular thing, or were you just like, I'm over this whole bullshit?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think I got bored of like the same things over and over again. I really did. And like, I was, like, I'm a huge Seth Rollins fan. I'm a huge, and that's the thing too. Just because I'm not watching it, that doesn't mean that there's wrestlers there that I don't enjoy. I still was watching NXT for like the longest. I was going to takeovers. That's what kind of happened. I think like I got more into NXT, less of main roster. Because NXT was great. And every once in a while, like, even though like I'm not keeping up with NXT weekly, I still watch the takeovers. The takeovers are always great. So
Facts.
Talk about high quality matches, right?
Yeah.
And I think from beginning they've always been known for that. High quality matches all across the board. The entire card would be entertaining, match wise. Speaking of entertaining, entertainment is what we strive for when we watch.
I got a question for you. Would you say Adam Cole is overexposed?
Yes.
Yeah.
You watch it? So maybe he is. Look, I don't want to say overexposed because I want to say he's done what he had to do. I think it's ran its course, and we're here. We're here now. We haven't been here. We're here now. Keith Lee. Go on.
So wait, are we at the level now where if he was to continue forward as the champ, he would be overexposed?
I'm not saying that. I mean, but if you want to say that, I guess maybe you might be in the popular opinions. So there's that.
Tiff brought him up before too, but Jericho.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
that's true.
I don't think he's overexposed. I think they're using him on TV too much.
Yeah, that's.
But like,
that's what we mean by overexposed, Vic.
No, but not stale. Like, he's not stale.
He makes new stars. That's like his purpose, right? Like, he came in the beginning, right? He's the first AEW champion. Perfect, right? This was the perfect person to put the belt on, right? Totally agree. Everybody, I think everybody agrees with me on that sense, right? Now, he's made the inner circle, right? And even though like us who know LAX, okay, Ortiz and Santana, okay, but again, a lot of people don't know, right? Sammy, I wasn't very familiar with. Now, like, I love Sammy. Like, he's gotten so much better. Like, he makes stars. Now, we're going to watch him wrestle Orange Cassidy. Me, huge fan
Ready
of
for that.
Cassidy, all right? Like, loved him in the indie scenes. Like, I think a lot of people are behind Orange Cassidy, but I think this match is going to frickin' blow him up even more than they already like him. But Jericho is great. Like, I love Jericho on commentary. Like, he is so entertaining. I get that. So I like with him is like we can get a little bit of everything. We can get him in the match. He's great in promos. He's growing the new talent. Like, that's what I feel like his purpose is. He got it. He got people to come over. Now you need to pass the torch, right? Definitely, you need to pass the torch to the other talent that people are not familiar with.
I think that also when Jericho's done wrestling, commentary needs to be a thing.
Oh, for sure.
I want to see bigger names in the booth. I think Samoa Joe on Raw is a pretty big name that became part of the announce team. Jericho would be a very great addition to an announce team. Think about it. JR is old.
Taz.
You know what I mean? Like, Taz is a great name.
Well, I mean, they have Taz on Dark now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But Taz being part of a storyline makes that problem.
No, he's perfect there. I love where he's at.
And if that thing with Cage don't work out, he can always go back on Dynamite or some shit.
Oh yeah.
But I do hear what you're saying, and one thing that does stick out, you said done wrestling. Oh God, 2020 is some shit, isn't it? Because now there's a certain wrestler who's done wrestling, allegedly. Mr. Mark Calloway is hanging him up, old school. How does that make you feel?
I mean,
should have retired a long time ago, but that's my fault. I'm sorry. Like,
You don't have it.
It's a bittersweet moment, right? Like this is a guy who should have been put out to pasture a while back.
Yes,
right?
like we grew up with the Undertaker as little kids, right? Like, that's what I was watching wrestling. But he said that was the big thing, right? And like, I remember like which WrestleMania. Okay, because I'm not like encyclopedia. What was the one that he lost? At WrestleMania against
30.
Right,
Brock.
so
Against Brock.
I wasn't watching it then, but I had a friend because I stopped watching wrestling for years and I got back into it. But I remember my friend went down and then he called me and he was so upset. And he was like so upset that he lost or whatever. And I was like, he's still wrestling? I was like, are you serious? So anyway, for days he's like talking to me. I can't believe it, Tiffany. I can't believe it, Tiffany. And I was like,
he's had several matches.
Oh man,
had to happen. I was like, he had to lose his streak because you're talking about it. This went on for like weeks. I'm like, you're still talking about it. I was like, it happened. I was like, right, because you're still talking about it. But I remember I think I was at that Raw where Undertaker collapsed in the back like after his match.
Oh shit!
I was like, geez. I was like, why is he still wrestling? Like, it's cool. But again, building new talent, right? Like, I don't want to see the old school wrestler. You're not in your prime. I'm sorry. Like, it's
Undertaker?
not years ago. Like,
overexposed. All right, like
overexposed.
Went from workhorse to overexposed.
Dude, you gotta hang them boots, baby. But do we think that this is real? Did he really hang his boots?
No. Why? Didn't we just say he's overexposed?
Don't please.
You can't say that in the same sentence as retired. It makes no sense.
Has Ric Flair truly retired? Has Terry Funk truly retired?
I think
how are we
Funk and Flair are gonna have another match. It's gonna happen.
Oh
man. First of all, I'm gonna tell you this right now. That man has a love for the business that's so real that you can't tell me his last match was what he was expecting a big crowd for turned out to be a fucking video movie thing that they did. You're not gonna tell me that if Vince breaks that emergency glass, and there just so happens to be 80,000 fans at a WrestleMania that he's gonna say, nah, man, he's coming out and he's gonna have another match. And I think that's gonna be the last one. And that's it.
Against who?
Yo,
Yeah, because
Shout out to your chat.
he's gonna turn into dust. They're gonna choke slam him.
It's gonna be
That's it.
because he can't go no more after that. If he has another match, I think he'll die going to the ring.
It's gonna be a legit
come
ambulance
on.
match.
I'm dead. Undertaker, the blue chill. I'm dead.
Look, I'm not convinced. WWE. Listen, breaking news.
I'm dead.
Oh shit, he turned to dust. That's it.
Breaking news. I'm not convinced. WWE has just requested trademarks for AARP, so it's gonna happen. It's in the works. They're gonna sponsor the match. It's gonna happen.
I'm done.
And it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who it is.
So
it's just gonna happen.
Who would it be?
And then, that's a good question. I think that's the question. Let's ask that question. Who
would it be?
Who would you pick? If you had to pick him one more match, the match that's it. He's gonna be done after this. Whether he dies in the ring or that's it, or he just calls it quits.
The
Tiff,
wrestler.
Yeah, it's like all my head now. I'm like, oh no.
give me one name that you want to see get rid of the Undertaker for you.
No, like I can't. Like no, because like AJ was a good one for me. Like how it ended, because I did watch it because I wanted to.
What,
see. So
what if you dress Kane as Undertaker?
no.
Again?
Yeah. No, man, that's
I'm
it.
good.
No more Undertaker. Get someone a new thing. Let's do a new
Take a
thing.
nap. Move on.
Can we get his son?
Let his son do something else.
Let's not do real estate.
Well, we're just gonna the sons. Why do the kids always have to come up and do exactly what the dad did? That's a bad precedent to set.
First of all,
you know what? The
It's
kid
rarely
can do
worked
it.
out. It's rarely worked out, right? There's more misses than successes,
Oh,
right?
That's
no,
true.
no one remembered San Martino. No one remembered David Flair.
What's the Benoit kid? I forgot his name.
David Benoit?
David
David.
Benoit.
Which is the David thing. Oh no.
Look at Hogan's son. Isn't he a DJ?
See, you gotta avoid that shit. Could you imagine Hogan's son in a locker room?
Jesus.
Fucking disaster.
Creative control.
Disaster, bro. He'd either be like a hardcore diva, or they would pick on him and make him fucking disappear, bro. It'd be crazy. We'd be talking about it for years. Yo, remember that?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Guys, there was some wrestling this week. Very little, minimal. I do like NXT real quick. Let me just tell you about it. Santos Escobar defeats Jake Atlas, and there was a triple threat match which determines Keith Lee to retain the North American Championship and now go after that NXT Championship against Adam Cole, which I think will get rid of Adam Cole. Old school, book this for me, man. How do we want to see this end?
Clean.
Clean?
Keith Lee, yeah. Dominates, beat the tar out of everybody.
Okay. I mean, I'll take
his glory, but what?
Yeah, you need a legit champ, right?
Who is it? It's Balor and Cole, right? And Lee.
It's Lee and Adam Cole now.
Oh, wasn't Balor going to be introduced into this?
It was
triple threat. Last night was a triple threat. Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano, and Keith Lee for the North American title, and the winner would go on to face Adam Cole for the NXT Championship.
So
and that's where we're at, right?
That Balor is going to be introduced into this little situation
between Keith and Cole is what you're saying.
Yeah, between Keith and Cole.
Okay. I don't know, but they got something up their sleeve. They got Great American Bash running at the same time that AEW is doing something called Fighter Fest, which I'm very excited for. John Moxley, Brian Cage.
Too big, they said.
That's what she said.
For one night. It's too big for one night. Dog, come on, man. We just talked about this.
Right.
Coach too.
Too big for one night.
Well,
Also,
Jericho and Cassidy is gonna be too big for one night. That's the one thing. Well, nah, I like the Moxley Cage too. Who else wants to see some exciting things at a Fighter Fest?
Cage is not gonna happen, Papi.
Why not?
Because of the COVID?
What just happened?
Oh, is it? Oh, fuck! Yeah, that's right.
It's scheduled.
Well,
It's scheduled for July 8th, right?
If he stays, quarantined for 14 days, he should be fine.
Facts. Yeah, he should be good by then. It's in 2 weeks.
We'll see what
He should
happens.
be good by then.
Well,
His
so
wife-
far he hasn't tested positive either.
No. Think
I
about
mean,
this.
yeah.
His wife has it. So you need his wife to go through it, then wait a few days and then test him. You feel me? Because he can
Maybe
get
he's not
COVID the
home.
last day that she has it.
Maybe he's in a hotel.
Right.
No, he's home with her.
I would love to hear how the conversation goes with that theory from the doctor is recited to Vince McMahon, because with Cody, okay, with what things are today in this business and how people have to be careful nowadays, I think I put it into Cody's trust that maybe he'll get things done. He'll probably do all of that. He'll wait the extra days and he'll get him tested and shit, and he'll call it. He'll get rid of the match and book it later. But a Vince McMahon will never even think about that shit. He'll be like, okay, yeah, whatever.
And that's why half the fucking roster has COVID.
Wow.
Well,
Wow. Okay.
Maybe that too. I don't know. No,
Hard take.
That's why half the roster has COVID, right? Because they just continue to do shit. They had fans in the crowd. Yo, they had fans in the crowd the day
They had
found out that
they
shit got
had
bad.
they had friends and family in the crowd last week.
so bad.
Terrible.
Disgusting. Terrible.
Terrible.
But it's
Terrible. What can you
they
do?
shut down?
Right?
Like, should WWE shut down?
Good luck with that.
Nah, they're not gonna shut down. The NBA's gonna open. MLB's gonna open. Like the
NBA
MLB.
is not gonna
I
open.
mean,
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
yeah,
bro.
Yes,
No,
it
it's
is.
not. Yo,
Vince Carter just retired. Damn it.
Vince Carter just retired. That's how you know the world is ending, because I thought the dude was going to play for another 50 years. And someone just got it. I forgot who got it.
Yeah.
But a big name got
Yeah,
it.
a bunch of people got it. Brogdon got it too. Buddy Hield just got it too. A lot of these players are not. They're opting out of this playoff, but a lot of players are still gonna play. They're gonna go through with it. And WWE set the bar here. They were the first only motherfuckers playing, working throughout this, and now everybody's gonna follow suit. So that's the last thing that's gonna happen is WWE gonna shut down.
AEW worked too.
I mean, yeah, they were competing, so whatever. The whole point was to get the economy moving again, right? That's what's so important now, right? You got to get the economy rolling.
Someone's still
You gotta
got
get
to break that down for me.
Somebody's not getting paid, right? So, I think we're in for a very, very, very tough times.
I don't
That's
know.
what I think.
I'm just saying, Moxley's not gonna make it. That card is gonna look way different, and then expect like Extreme Rules. I think is gonna get fucked up.
So if Moxley doesn't make it, who do they put in his place? Who goes up against Brian Cage?
It would just be like it'll be a
win.
fun match. They'll just have somebody fun. So like, who would you want to see with Cage? Just like do a fucking match. Just have a match.
Actually,
I
Kyle
got
has
it.
a really good theory. Like he said that if this doesn't happen, right? He feels like that Cody's gonna step in, like maybe even Brian Cage isn't going to wrestle, right? That Cody does an open challenge that day because he's not wrestling the second night. He's wrestling the first night. So I was thinking about it. I was like, that's cool. I was like, and then he started talking about imagine if like we could get the travel like Pac versus Cage. And I was like, oh, give me. It's like, I'll take it all. Like, just give it to me.
Sick.
I'll watch that.
Yeah.
How when is Warhorse going for that TNT title? That's what I want to know.
Listen, when is Gang going for the TV title? Gangone, Warhorse, Matt Tremont. Like, there's a list. Okay?
Brandon Kirk.
Listen, if you're sitting here, right, you're saying open challenge, not to just AEW roster. Let's freaking go. I can
Anybody.
see the list, okay? Let's go. Dan Housing, let's go.
Ooh,
Let's
Darius
do
Carter.
this.
Bring
Yes.
Darius Carter, baby.
Give me
Let's do it. Matt Tremont, go in there and hurt somebody.
Tony Deppen. Like, I can go on and on and on with the list.
Facts, man.
My guy is Warhorse. Warhorse cut a promo on Cody. That shit's on Twitter. Check it out.
Ooh.
Funny. I like anything Warhorse does. So I want to see him on TV for that title. He's already defended the Independent Pro Wrestling title like a bajillion times. So he's a workhorse. I'd like to see him work his horse ass on that show. Get that TNT title. Get that shit. Because that's what the Warhorse does, baby!
I know karate, dickhead.
Okay, he knows karate, dickhead. Oh, man, and that's all the damn time we have for you folks this week. I don't care what you got your fix from, because I know you got it from somewhere. We're damn near everywhere. Pretty chubby. Why don't you tell them what they can do and how they show us some love?
Guys, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, HVC2Sweet. Check us out on YouTube, Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And give us a little rating, 5 stars. Appreciate the love.
Tiff, I want to thank you for being on with us tonight. Thank you for your time. Please tell the wonderful fans where they can catch you and all the tags and all your hashtags and your Twitter account. Plugs, all of that.
And all that shit. Just tell them all your shit.
Oh, no. No. No.
We just went over this.
No. Probably find me at an indie show. Just say no. Anyway, yeah. So you can find me on Twitter, loves to dream 82, LUVS 2 dream 82. I'm on the No Holds Barred network, which is all over the freaking place. We're on audio, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Periscope. If it's out there, we're out there. So that's where I do all my I do too many damn shows. Like all of Under the Rope.
Nah, man, good shit.
Oh my God, it's just too much. Yeah, so there's a lot of shows on the No Holds Barred network, and I'm just expanding like crazy. So go catch me there. And yeah, and come find me at Indie Show. I'm going to be with these guys at Synergy. So you better go get your damn tickets on June 11th. Okay, we're going to party.
11.
Spraying some champagne at people. Let's go. All right.
We may or may not be there.
You better, better be there because
like a brother.
access. Okay.
Shout out to Colin, man. Shout out to our boy, our big brother.
Don't be a bad guy. We'll shout you out, and then I don't want to have to edit this later. Colin, we love you.
Oh, God.
Yeah. All right? He's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
10 count to 10 toe, man. See y'all next week.
Gotcha. Oh shit, I wasn't ready. Ah!